All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Today, December the 24th. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone who celebrates. I hope you're all having a good holiday so far. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope it's been healthy for you guys. And like I said, thank you so much. We have, what is even today? Friday? Jeez, just the week is flying by. Friday, December the 24th. 2021. Again, like I said, thank you so much if you're able to join me live, especially today, because I do know it's just the middle of the holiday. That's why we're doing this stream a little bit earlier again, 7 a.m. I just want to thank you guys so much for the support and for joining me. I wanted to come in today and I wanted to have a little bit of a chat. If you saw my community post, and again, before I get going, say hi in chat. It'd be great to see you guys. I can wish you guys a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas. Say hi in chat. Let me know that you guys can hear me. Always enjoy the engagement. Today's going to be a little bit more of an engagement discussion, and then some tips that I just wanted to point out because I've been having a lot of conversations with my clients as we start to move into the new year, how we can achieve different goals. And again, the goals can be different for every person, but I think if we sum it up, how can we become healthier during 2022, especially again with everything that's going on in the world, with all of the different health epidemics like I've been talking about throughout this entire year on the live streams. Again, it's been almost officially 1 year since we started these live streams, which is kind of interesting. But we've been talking a little bit about the heart health epidemic, obesity epidemic, diabetes, all of those different things, even mental disorders and things of that nature. So today I want to talk a little bit about how we can achieve our health goals for 2022, whether it be any of those that I just listed, it could be something else. And, it could be weight loss or anything of that nature. And again, this is where really I think I can give you guys the most benefit. All right, provide the most value, give a little bit of a different perspective than other people in other channels, who aren't putting out this type of content. So again, I just want to wish you a happy holiday, happy Christmas Eve. Unbelievable. I feel like this year just sort of flew by. Now I also want to say, during these next couple of weeks, all right, as we move into 2021, there's going to be a lot of live streams. There's still going to be a lot of videos going up, but there's especially going to be a lot of live streams. A lot of live streams with my face on it. A lot of live streams with some statistics that are coming out and things of that nature that I want to make sure that we're pointing out and that we're thinking about as we move into the new year. So you guys will definitely be getting reminders, just sort of focusing on the time, the scheduling, and things of that nature, because I know we usually go Wednesdays and Sundays, but that might change a little bit. I mean, today we're going Friday on a Christmas Eve. And again, I don't know if there's a lot of channels who are doing that right now, but Friday on a Christmas Eve, talking about health. The times are going to change a little bit. We'll still get it on the Wednesday and the Sunday, but there's going to be more and more live streams this week. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, especially for those who are going to be listening to this a little bit later on when I put up this video. All right, lots of live streams, lots of, different topics, a lot of questions that can be answered. I want you guys to engage if you can. That would be great. Thank you so much. Rupo, great to see you. Good morning. Happy Christmas Eve. Great to see you in chat as always. Thank you very much for joining me so early on Christmas Eve. All right, it's awesome to have you guys already coming in here. We already have a few likes coming up, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So one big topic, right, and I want to sort of drive the focus of, our health goals. Like I said, for 2022, it can become a number of different things. So the points that I wrote down, it can be for heart health, it can be for weight loss, it can be for our moods and things of that nature. All right, it's not going to be specifically just for weight loss or specifically for heart health or inflammation or anything of that sort. Because like I said, we're going to have a number of epidemics. We can have a whole discussion on heart health. All right, this is going to be for our general health overall. I think if we start with our general health, then we can start kind of focusing in and sort of narrowing it down just a little bit from there. But we want to increase our general health, and we want to do it sort of incrementally. I always tell you guys, don't go, and I love the metaphor. I don't know why. Maybe you guys might be getting sick of it, but you don't have to hit a home run every time. All right? Little changes every single day. If we're staying consistent, that's the biggest thing that we can do, and the most important. Consistency is everything. Thank you, Rupal. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day today, and I hope you're having a good holiday. I'm actually off. The reason why I'm able to, put a little bit more content out there and, get a couple more live streams. I actually have my first vacation in a year and a half. So, or about a year, maybe something like that. I'm not even sure. But when you're doing something you're passionate about and something you love, you just kind of keep going. I haven't even really thought about it. So, on my time off, it's kind of dedicating more time to this channel. So let's get right into it, guys. Again, general tips and tricks that we can kind of do for a better 2022, increasing our overall and general health. All right, because there's so many things that we want to do. The first point that I want to make, and I think maybe the first thing that's probably the most important, especially from what I see, there's numerous studies out there. I don't even need to get into the studies. All right, the studies speak for themselves. All right. I've talked about this just a little bit. Again, you've probably heard it, but there are so many people within the population, and again, all over the world, just because of the fast pace that we live in, just because of, people on their phones, social media, all these different things, like even TV and stuff like that. We have so much access to everything right now. I'd say one of the most important things, all right, to help achieve your health goals in 2022 is to try to increase and get enough sleep. Sleep is vital, all right? If we want to increase our overall health, I always say this, even in this nutrition discussions, all right? It always starts with sleep. We need to make sure that we're getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. That is the most important thing. There are so many individuals who are chronically tired, all right? Chronically not getting that 7 to 9, all right? It almost seems like 5 to 6 is the new norm. But we know if we're not getting enough sleep, guys, for one thing, it's just a normal day for you, Rupal. You know what? Today's going to be a relaxing day for me and probably hang out with family, so I can relate to you a little bit there. Absolutely. Get some family stuff done with the pandemic and everything going. I think it's just going to be a small little gathering, nothing too crazy. Susan, good morning to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. I know today might be a little bit harder for people to get on. I know it's Christmas Eve. I know it's nice and early. I know people are hanging out with their families, but I appreciate everyone who's coming in here and everyone again who's going to listen to this live stream later. I mean, our vitamins and minerals immune boosting, we have 1.2 thousand people who listen to that 2.5 hour stream. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Susan, good morning to you. Rupal, of course, appreciate you being here. And we're just talking about some of the main goals that we want to achieve to increase our overall health for 2022. I think we have to start with sleep, guys. Sleep is one of the most important things. There's so many people who are just, chronically, not getting enough rest. And a lot of my clients, they'll come in for their workout early morning, and nothing wrong with this. Like I said, we all live our lives sort of differently. Things are going on. But with 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, again, that's just not great for our overall health. All right. And we'll get into some of the reasons why. All right. It'll kind of all tie in together. And that's why I wanted to start with sleep. I wrote a couple points down. Sleep is going to be one of your major ones, guys. All right, if you could make it a goal, all right, and again, it all comes down to habits. If you can make one of your habits getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, I think you're going to do a tremendous job of increasing your overall health for 2022, because I know a lot of people right now are getting in between that 5 to 6. And again, it's going to be compounding, all right? We need that time. Sleep is when the body heals. that's why I think sleep is so important, especially with like my weight training and everything like that. Even just mentally, we need that sleep. All right, and there's been a lot of studies that show a decrease in, if we're not getting the amount of sleep that we need on a night-to-night basis. Right? We know that we're decreasing in certain areas of our overall health, whether it be mood, whether it be chronic disease. All right, later on it can be Alzheimer's and things of that nature. Again, that's not meant to scare anyone. All right, that's just saying what the studies are showing. All right, a lack of sleep, all right, is leading to chronic diseases, or at least increasing the risk, we should say, of chronic diseases such as dementia, Alzheimer's disease, other things of that nature. All right, so again, that's why sleep is so important, guys. And again, just like everything else that we've been talking about, let's say you're getting 5 hours of sleep a night. And again, I can relate to this because when I was in school, back in the day, 6 hours, I'd be lucky if I got 6 hours. Even when I was working other jobs, even starting businesses and things like that, 6 hours was almost uncommon for me. And then now that I'm focusing on it, I started focusing on it a little bit more this year. I can see a huge difference. You wake up with that great 8 hours of sleep, you're just going to feel different. All right, you're going to feel refreshed. You're not going to feel tired. You're going to have energy throughout the day, which is going to, be helping you with other things that are going to be on this list. Right? Because again, a health goal doesn't just mean losing weight. All right, we want to improve our overall health. Sleep is a biggie. Sleep is one of the most important things, guys. That's when we heal. And again, I'll bring it up one more time. A lack of sleep, if we're only getting 5 hours of sleep every single night, all right, it's going to increase our risk for chronic diseases, all right, going down. I already mentioned things like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And we even see a correlation between diet and lack of sleep, right? Which is pretty interesting, all right? And I think a lot of reasons for that is people have just a lack of energy. So they're using refined carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates, sweets like sugar, things of that nature, fast food, right? Because if you're tired, you don't feel like cooking and things like that. So, a lack of sleep is even having an effect on our diets. And there's been some interesting studies on this. And again, I just see it working with my clients. It's pretty interesting because they'll come in and I know that they didn't get enough sleep. And then the last thing they want to do is go home and cook. So it's usually pick up something on the way home. Kathleen, great to see you in chat. Thank you so much. Great to have my great friend from Trinidad and Tobago in chat. It's awesome to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this Christmas Eve. Again, like I said, we're kind of just getting on here Christmas Eve. I'm very, very, surprised just to see you guys coming in here and everyone who's been entering the chat. So thank you so much, guys, for coming in here and supporting. I really appreciate it. And I think this is an important one. Like I said, my main goal, we just talked about sleep. And I think sleep is one of the most important things, guys. Sleep can make and break your day. Let's be honest. If you're waking up with only 5 hours of sleep, that's maybe not going to be your most optimal day. And if we're not having optimal days, all right, especially compounding, because we know the power of compounding, let's say with weight loss or even with overall health. All right, if we're not having optimal days, then we're just taking steps back for our overall health. We can't make 2022 one of the healthiest years. And one of my big goals that I want to really promote on this channel is making 2022 the best year we can, getting that health back on track, making sure that it's at the forefront, because really these last 2 years, all right, and you guys know what I'm talking about, it's going to be almost 2 years. It was already on the decline. These last 2 years have put us back even more. And I'm talking about things like obesity, sedentary lifestyle, anxiety, and a lack of sleep. We've seen sleep decrease as well, all right, which is quite interesting. I think that might have to do a little bit with, anxiety being people trying to connect, on the internet usage, on social media, things like that. almost these parasocial type actions, which is decreasing our sleep just a little bit. So sleep is very, very important, guys. One more thing regarding sleep. Right? We want to shoot for that 7 to 9 hours every single night. We need the body to heal. We need the mind to heal. That's when it's going to be happening. All right? The regeneration of the body. 7 to 9 hours. Again, the reason why it's so important as well, I just listed probably 5 important things, all right? And again, they're all going to tie back. So we're starting off with sleep. I'm listing these ones off. It's all going to tie back in. All right, I think I got 8 points here. I don't want to bombard you guys with points, but I think some of these are some of the ones that we can start today or start tonight for our sleep. The other one, all right, if we're not going to get enough sleep, or if we're not getting enough sleep at nighttime, it's going to increase the hormone cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And cortisol wreaks havoc on our health goals, our overall health. It's our stress hormone. For people who are trying to lose weight, it's going to make weight loss tougher. For people who are trying to, put on a little bit of muscle, same thing. Not great for heart health, not great for inflammation, all right, for trying to decrease inflammation in the body, which I know it's so funny because maybe I'm using the word epidemic too much, maybe just because it's been in the news, it's been in our vocabulary so much the last 2 years. I've been saying we have an epidemic of obesity, we have an epidemic of heart health, of diabetes, and all of that stuff, but we also have an anxiety for another one. But we also have an epidemic, of, a lack of sleep, all right, people chronically tired, all right, and increases in cortisol. Again, cortisol is your stress hormone. That's something that we want to try to decrease. If we're not getting enough sleep, we're waking up with higher levels of cortisol. We're waking up more stressed. That's something that we don't want, guys. We want to be feeling refreshed, ready to start the day and optimize our day. And getting that 7 to 9 hours can do that. Again, I don't want to come off as preachy. I just think that, getting that 7 to 9 hours, getting that 7 to 9 hours is so important for your mood, for cortisol, for heart health, inflammation. Right? And my point was what I was saying with, using epidemic so much. There's an epidemic of inflammation that's going on right there. And inflammation, remember, over time, right, can lead to chronic disease. At least, again, increase the risk. Even acutely, you get symptoms from inflammation. All right, tiredness, one of them. All right, so again, coming back to sleep, but also things like if you're dealing with already joint pain, all right, or arthritic, so arthritis symptoms, swelling, joint pain, things of that nature, digestive issues, even cognitive, fog, they'll call it, even some cognitive issues coming back to inflammation. So we want to make sure that we're decreasing that. And cortisol, lack of sleep, our stress hormone, is only going to make that worse. Morgan, great to see you in chat. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. As a psychology, I can back that up. Well, thank you, Morgan. I appreciate that. And you know what? Even in psychology, with a lot of psychology studies, they're finding the importance of sleep as well. So, you'll see it in nutrition, you'll see it in sort of, these overall, health studies and things like that. Psychology, thank you for backing me up there, Morgan. Again, in these psychology journals and everything like that, with these studies, sleep is a huge deal, guys. I can't stress it enough. I really want us to try to, and I'm going to do the same thing. These are all goals that I'm going to be doing with you guys. All right, it's not just me putting it out there because I'm doing everything perfect. These are all goals that I have. Sleep was one of the big ones for me this year in 2021. A little bit more so than 2020. Still been getting pretty good sleep, but I want to increase and make sure that I'm getting 8 hours every single night if I can. Last night was an 8-hour day. That's why I can do these streams. If I wasn't getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, there's no way that I would be doing this 7 a.m. live stream. It would be impossible for me. And there's no way that I would work out and do all that different stuff. Food prep, which is especially important today, all right, and during the holiday season, because we know our diets can slack just a little bit, which is okay. I always tell my clients it's the holiday season. It comes once a year. just try, if you can maintain your weight at this time, then you're doing something right. But sleep, guys, I think I kind of said what I needed to on that. I think you guys get the point at this, at this time. Sleep, let's start with that. All right, we can start with sleep. That's something that we can do tonight, and it's hard for a lot of people. Working with some individuals, it'll be like, let's try to increase 1 hour or half an hour. It's tough for people to increase their sleep, just because, again, it's habit forming. All right, we go to bed at a certain time. Getting enough sleep doesn't mean sleeping in. All right, it means what I like people to do is go to bed earlier. So if you start your day and you only got 5 hours of sleep the night before, it's usually because you didn't go to bed earlier enough. All right, so kind of the sleep point starts the night before. All right, we already know that we have to be up at certain times. If we're not going to bed at the right time and getting used to that habit, there's little to no chance that we're actually going to be getting enough sleep. So I always say getting enough sleep starts the night before. All right, it's not really a morning thing, because we're just living, there's so many obligations that we have. It can be work, family obligations. Maybe you're waking up for a workout. Maybe you have to go Christmas shopping right now, because I know some people who are doing that. It's starting early in the morning today. There's things that come up in our daily life where, we can't sleep in. I don't sleep in. I have clients that start at 6 a.m. sometimes. I have our streams at 7. All right? If I'm not going to bed early enough, then I'm just not going to be able to accomplish the sleep goal. So it starts the night before, guys. Again, I think I said enough on sleep. Let's continue on with our other points for how to achieve your health goals in 2022. Sleep being one of the most important ones. Let's see if we can get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. All right. And we know as Morgan greatly put it here, psychology can back up some of the things that I was saying, and we see it in a number of different studies, and even, again, just working with different clients. The second one, all right, easy steps, how to achieve our health goals. It's funny because it might seem almost intuitive. It might seem, well, of course, that's super easy, but there's so many people. Again, we don't even have to look at the studies. The studies are off the charts. Right? But again, I do so many consultations with individuals, just with having so many chats with individuals. The next one that we want to do is increase our water intake. If we're looking at a pyramid, guys, the most important thing that we can do with our diet, so again, with what we're eating on a day-to-day basis and taking in, the first one is water. We have to make sure that we're not dehydrated, because there's so many people out there who are chronically dehydrated at this point. Again, water has so many benefits for us. Again, so many people we see water correlating, so a decrease in water, people who are dehydrated are having a negative effect on our diet as well. If you want to be more active, if we're not drinking enough water, again, that's going to affect how active we are. So our diet and our activity level, 2 important things for our overall health. Again, water is important, guys. If I'm going to make a pyramid, let's say, of priorities of things that we want in our diet, we need water. It's right at the bottom. It's the biggest piece. So water, we need to make sure that we're getting enough. Now, how much is enough will depend on, certain individuals. All right. I drink a little bit more just because, I'm tall, I work out usually 6 days a week, so I'm sweating a lot. I kind of have an active job, so I'm drinking about a gallon, maybe a little bit more every single day, about 5 to 6 liters. Would I recommend that for everyone? Probably not, because sometimes I go over that 6 liters. But I think if you start at 3, I found that to be kind of a good starting point for most people, because I know, and it's okay, again, this isn't to be judgmental and to say I do everything perfect. Sometimes I really have to focus on my water intake for the day, because I'm working with clients. Hours will go by sometimes and I didn't take any water in, and I have to make sure that I get the water. All right, make sure that I intake enough water throughout the day, get my 6 liters. That's always my goal. But it's sort of unbelievable It's hard to see the studies and even doing consultations, just how many people are chronically dehydrated. Maybe we can relate to this, I'm not sure, but if you can, don't worry. We can make the changes again starting today, having a healthier 2022, increase our sleep. Let's increase our water intake. If you're only getting 2 glasses, let's see if we can bump that up by the end of the year to 8 to 10. All right, 3 liters to 4 liters. Water has so many bodily functions where it's going to improve that we want to make sure that we're getting enough water. And it's the exact same thing with sleep. Going to help increase a number of bodily processes. One example for water, again, has to do a ton with our digestive system. It has to do a ton with getting rid of toxins, reducing, waste in the body. All right, we need proper water intake for good digestion, guys. So again, that's why it's at the top of my list for having a healthier 2022. And I know that so many people are chronically dehydrated at this point. Think about it. How much water do you intake? And the thing that most people don't really think about, they don't really go day by day thinking about how much water that they drink. It's not, unless you're journaling it or you're doing what I call mindful eating or anything like that. All right, most people can't come back to me and say, oh, well, I had 3.5 glasses of water yesterday, or 2 glasses of water and a tea. Usually we don't say that. What they can tell me is, well, I had 2 coffees. That's what I hear a lot of the time. A lot of the time, can't really remember how much water that they're intaking. So again, this is going to build on some of the other points. But again, bodily processes, sleep and water, 2 of the most important things that we can do. It's the little things, guys. That's what I kind of want to point out. Maybe you guys can relate as well. And again, thank you everyone who's starting to come in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up again. Greatly appreciated. But let's just take a step back and remember it's the little things for our overall health. All right, sometimes we can take the little things for granted. A lot of the times we go for the home run. Again, I'm using the metaphor where we just need to get on base sometimes. All right, if we're only drinking 2 glasses of water or we're only getting 4 hours of sleep each night, we need to take a look at those little things and make sure that they're on point. Start changing those habits. That way we can start getting into some of the bigger ones as well. And I think these are 2 of the biggest ones already. It's only going to increase our overall health if we're increasing sleep and we're increasing our water intake. All right. There's not really any negatives that are going to come from that. Maybe unless you're drinking way too much water, all right, which is very uncommon. Then we're increasing our overall health. Then we're taking the steps we need for 2022 to be the healthiest year. Again, for both sleep and water, take little changes, guys, week by week. All right, we have 52 weeks this year. It's not like we have to jump up to 9 hours of sleep if we're only getting 5, all right, by January 15th. I think that's the wrong approach. I'd say the same thing with water. If you're only drinking 2 glasses of water, 2 weeks into the year, I don't think that you should be trying to aim for 8 to 10. A lot of the times those big jumps are very hard for individuals. What I would say for water specifically, if you're trying to intake your water and increase your water intake, if you're at 2 right now, for 1 week, try to get to 3. And then maybe you might stay there for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, once you get used to it. Once that becomes your new habit, go to 4. All right. And that can take you a month. Just that process right there. People will always say to me, well, that's kind of slow. All I did was add 2 glasses of water in a month. But what I would come back and usually say to people is, well, you just doubled your water intake in a month. That's tremendous. That's great progress. You just doubled the water that you've been intaking for, let's say, 5 years, 10 years. All right, I've seen that very, very often. I've never been a big water drinker. I've never been, big on water, or I don't like the taste, so I don't really drink it that often. So people who are chronically dehydrated for 10, 15 years, if you can double your water within a month, that's a huge step to increasing your overall health. People always think that they need it yesterday when it comes to health. All right. They think, well, 8 to 10 is what I should be shooting for. Let's get 8 to 10 today. But we need to make sure it's incremental steps, guys. It's the same thing with sleep. Those little changes on a day-to-day basis, as long as you're doing that, then you know that you're going to be successful, or you're increasing your chance for success, which is really nice. All right, so let's try to do that. Incremental changes, as I always say, if you can do 1% change, then by the end of the year, you're going to be 37 times better off. And imagine that. Imagine if we can do 1% changes every day for 2022. By 2023, you're going to be 37 times, I won't say healthier, but at least will be 37 times improvement from 2021. So 2022 can definitely be the best year, the healthiest year that we can make. And I think that's so important. Right now, we're just trying to get through the day. I don't know if you guys can relate, but there's a lot of people who are kind of just coasting right now. The last 2 years have been very tough on a lot of people and stressful on a lot of people. In chat, let me know what some of your goals are, because we can bring that up, and then maybe I can sort of give my 2 cents on some things that I think can maybe help. All right? So let me know in chat what your goals are, if you have any goals for 2022. And I think even a goal, let's say that you think you're already at a good state. One thing I always think, we can always improve on something, and I'll bring up a couple points. Maybe there's something that hits with you. But I always think that we can improve. But then let's say, you're happy with sleep, you're happy with water intake. One of your goals can be maintaining that. Maintaining our 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Maintaining our, 3 to 6 liters, whatever it is, depending on your lifestyle. If it's a more active lifestyle, of course, you need more water. But our goal will be, if we want a healthier 2022, we need to maintain. It's just some of the most important things, guys. I think when it comes to 2022 and becoming healthier and increasing your overall health, start with sleep, start with water. All right, now, thank you so much, guys, for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. We're at 10 already, all right, on this December 24th stream. All right, this one sort of is going to be a big one, I think, that's going to be put up there. I appreciate you guys coming in. Biggest supporters right here: Rupal, Susan, Kathleen, Morgan, names that I see every single stream. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. And if you're in stream right now and listening, again, that's fine too. Sometimes I'll go into, a lot of the times, to be quite honest, I'll go into streams and I don't always comment, but I appreciate you all coming in and listening. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, so we have sleep, we have water. Again, I think we've said enough on those 2 points. Bodily processes, guys. That's why I think water is so important. Energy levels, increasing, and getting rid of inflammation, even getting rid of toxins in the body, reducing free radicals. That all comes back to decreasing the risk of chronic disease as well. All right, we need to flush that out. The way we do that is through our water intake. Now let's go to the next step. One thing that I think can help us to achieve our goal of becoming healthier in 2022, we increase our sleep to 7 to 9 hours a night. We increase our water, eventually getting to about 4 or 5 liters every single day, depending on your activity level. I think the next important one, guys, and that a lot of people don't do, I think meal planning and journaling your meals. All right, journaling what you eat, knowing what you eat on a day-to-day basis, I think is super important. Again, we can go back to, there's a lot of individuals, if I ask, let's say I'm trying to help them with weight loss or increase energy, whatever it is, we'll go back and we'll ask and we'll talk about, how was your diet the last couple of days? A lot of the times they can't really come back and tell me exactly what they ate because they don't even really remember, or they get into a habit of eating the same foods every single day, almost without even thinking about it, just sort of grabbing something, not really planning what they eat during the day, grabbing something fast. And a lot of times it's fast food, frozen food, canned foods, things like that. So I think meal planning, which could include meal prepping, Right? Prepping healthy foods for us, I think, is a big thing. But not only with that meal planning, I think writing down what you're eating is a big, powerful tool, guys. That's going to help you with mindful eating. And let's say we're trying to, it doesn't even really matter with weight loss, but let's say we're trying to lose weight. Of course, journaling your meals is going to be a very important tool for that. Because if we're not losing weight or not hitting our weight loss goals, and again, I think 1 to 2 pounds a week is probably what you should be shooting for. That's what we call healthy weight loss and something that you can maintain over time. You're not going to get that yo-yo effect as much if you're losing that 1 to 2 pounds a week because you're not super restrictive. The more restricted your diet is, the harder it is to be to maintain, and the harder it's going to be to keep the weight off. So just remember that, guys. But journaling your meals and meal planning, I think, is super important. If you need help with meal plans or anything like that, or putting, certain foods into your diet, please feel free to send me an email. All right, I do this every day. It's something that I can really help you with. It's one of the services that's going to be provided from this channel in 2022. But I make meal plans almost every single day. It might not be specific, like let's say 2 eggs and then 100 grams of oats with a full cup of blueberries, but I can certainly tell you, you might want to think about eggs, maybe oatmeal, maybe blueberries for breakfast, and then you can figure out the portion sizes. And then we know if the portion size is correct if you're journaling. All right, if let's say you want to lose weight, right, if you're losing pounds each and every week, that 1 to 2. And then if you're journaling, the nice thing is, let's say you're maintaining weight or you even increased weight, well, we know what we ate that week. It's easy to cut back. We know what we can cut back. I can tell you too, well, maybe you need to decrease the oatmeal, let's say, for instance, to half of what you're having. All right? Very, very easy. Let's say if you had a full banana, let's make that a half a banana. We can decrease your calories that way. Let's say if you're having a whole avocado, you guys get the point, half an avocado. All right? Cut back on some of the fats that we're eating. If it's too much, all right? We need healthy fats in the diet. But this is where, it's kind of vitally important, where we know what we're eating and we're planning our meals. I think it's such a powerful tool, like I said. If we're not doing that, then we're really not utilizing all the tools to give ourselves the best chance to make 2022 the healthiest year. I really think that we can do it, guys. I'm a huge believer in a lot of people, in most individuals. I've seen people just make unbelievable changes. I'll tell you, I had yesterday some individuals that, I'll put my business email in here, in chat there, guys. Some people who this year have lost 80 pounds, 50 pounds. All right. I've helped individuals with that. All right. And that can come from a number of different reasons. A lot of people think, it's hardcore working out or going crazy with exercise and things like that. I'm not a huge proponent of that. Yes, I think exercise is important, but diet is just as important as well. Water intake, sleep, all of those different things combining to, make us healthier. But I really think journaling is an important tool. Again, not only for weight loss, but we need to make sure that we're getting in certain micronutrients, certain macronutrients. Like I said, we need healthy fats in our diet. It's important that we're getting good proteins into our diet. And, if you're someone that's eating carbohydrates, I know intermittent fasting and I know keto is very, very popular right now, especially keto. Intermittent fasting, of course, can include carbohydrates. But let's say you're not on keto and you're eating carbohydrates. We want to make sure we're eating the right carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, unrefined carbohydrates, things of that nature. That's going to give you your best chance. So sleep, water, and journaling your meals, meal planning. I think if you're meal planning and meal prepping, so making your meals ahead, I think vital tool, is almost essential for achieving a healthier 2022. So those, again, if you look at the proportion of individuals, it's even people who work with me, it's tough, I know, to write down all of your meals, right? I know that that's a tough thing. And if you think to yourself right now, Think of a percentage of individuals who write down their meals every single day. I can tell you it's probably going to be less than 5% of the population. It's probably going to be like 2 to 1%, to be honest. But that's where I want you guys to kind of focus on, because I know if you're writing it down, you have a great chance of increasing your overall health. And I'm not talking about aesthetics. One of my main things that I want to start pointing out is, yes, aesthetics is good, weight loss is good, all of that different stuff, especially if we're dealing with being overweight, if we're dealing with obesity or even extreme obesity. Of course, weight loss is important for us, all right, and for these individuals. But if we're doing these, the funny thing is what I always say, if we're doing these tips and sort of tricks right now, these are the processes. The processes are more important than the outcomes, because you won't get your outcome without the process, guys. So the processes are increasing your sleep, increasing your water intake, and journaling and meal planning right now. If you're doing that, all right, you're giving yourself the best chance to lose weight. I know it's so great. Like I just said, the 80 pounds that were lost this year. For some individuals, some people lost 20, some people lost 55 or 60, and that's facts. All right, I have a website that's up, and we'll see these transformations. We took the transformation pictures yesterday, so we have individuals that are losing 80 pounds. All right, and that's great, but that's your outcome. What was the process? The process was, all right, for the individual that lost 80 pounds this year, the process was working out 2 to 3 days a week. All right, we moved it to 3 days. All right, so not missing a workout once, maybe one missed workout all year. Of course, you got to cut it back a little bit, have a little bit of a deload, but the process was working out. But the other process, guys, was diet. There was writing down, there was journaling of diets. And then looking at that diet, it's like, okay, well, keep this, take this out, keep this, and then sort of tailoring that diet, all right, so that they were in a calorie deficit, but still able to maintain. The 80 pounds, of course, was not lost in 3 months. Like I said, it took a year. So you chip away. Healthy weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. A lot of people think that that's slow, but let's say you're losing 2 pounds a week. That's almost 10 pounds a month, guys. If you're losing 10 pounds a month consistently, that's 120 pounds in a year. I mean, how is that not impressive? All right. And again, that's going to give you the best chance to keep the weight off. So what those people did, the people who were the most successful, and we're just going back to weight loss, all right, because that's the easiest one for usually most people to kind of connect with. The people who had the most success were the people who were writing down their food and meal planning, all right? Even if you're not always writing it down, as long as you're meal prepping and meal planning, all right, because we always talk about diet, usually whenever I see them, if I'm probably seeing them 3 hours a week right now, most people 2 hours a week, all right? They're giving themselves the best chance. The 80 pounds didn't happen in 2 months, guys. It came from chipping away 1.5 pounds a week, 2 pounds a week, 1.5. It's just adding up. All right. A lot of people will always say to me, well, 1.5 seems awfully slow, or 1 pound seems awfully slow. Hey, if you lose 1 pound a week, in that year, you just lost 52 pounds. All right, I don't see anything slow with that, and especially if you're doing some sort of resistance training, because you're probably going to put on a little bit of muscle, all right, if you get good programming, and losing body fat. So imagine you lose 52 pounds, all right, while putting on a little bit of muscle, all right, and you're losing mostly body fat. That's tremendous goals. That's tremendous achievement. Now, let's take it one step further, and let's not just talk about weight loss, because I know aesthetic is so important. Right? One of my big points that I wrote down here is think health first, not aesthetics. So think about your overall health first, not the way we look. All right? Because the way we look, that's a good motivator to start. Sorry, as I take my sip of coffee, and thank you for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. so much support even on our December 24th Christmas Eve live stream. But think about health first, guys. If we do that, the aesthetics will come. Everyone always wants to look good. Everyone's always obsessed with the scale. But if you can focus on health first, getting in your micronutrients, maybe you're low. All right, a lot of the times it's going to be iron, vitamin B12, vitamin K2 is a big one. Even vitamin K. All right, and if we're not eating the right vegetables, all right, and even the right foods. Vitamin D, especially in the winter months, those are going to be your vitamins and minerals that you're deficient in. Think about your overall health first, not aesthetics. The aesthetics will come. All right, guys, if you're trying to lose weight, focus on the processes, healthy foods, active lifestyle. And remember, active lifestyle, if you're getting 150 minutes of exercise, or as I like to call it, movement, because it doesn't have to be super intense. It can be walks, it can be things of that nature, just enjoying, nature, getting out there, then you're going to see good results. But with journaling your meals, meal planning, I want you to think first, all right, health. How can I be healthier? Well, we want to get in healthy fats. We want to get in some good protein sources. If you're eating carbohydrates, we want the right carbohydrates. We want complex carbohydrates, and by that I mean carbohydrates that aren't going to spike up your blood glucose levels, that aren't going to give you that crash, all right, that aren't going to create inflammation within the body, or at least not as much. So I think that's very, very important, guys. Try your best to journal your meals. I think that's one of the most important things that we can do for our overall health. Why? Because as I like to call it, it's mindful eating. You know what's going into the body. If we know what's going into the body, then one, it's going to help hold us accountable, all right, making sure that we're getting in the right foods, all right, but it's also going to allow us to tailor our diet just a little bit. All right, let's say, okay, well, I maintain the same weight, but I had some nighttime snacking 2 to 3 times this week. Well, the next week we kind of cut that out a little bit. Maybe we only do it one time. We decrease our calories that way. Maybe, we didn't get enough healthy fats. All right, maybe micronutrients were a little bit low. Well, we know by journaling we can look back at the week, all right, and see if we're getting in the right amounts of vegetables. Remember, we shoot for that 3 to 6 servings of vegetables every single day. All right, I think that's super important for our overall health. If we're not getting that in, we can go back to our journal, and it's very easy for us to see, because I can guarantee you by the end of the week, it's gonna be very tough for you to recall how many vegetables you had for certain days. It could be Sunday. I could ask you how many vegetables did you have on Tuesday. Very seldom are people gonna know. Thalma, thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much, Thalma. I appreciate it. I appreciate seeing you in here. Like I said, regular faces in here. I really appreciate you guys coming into the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this live stream. I know it's tough for a lot of people to get in here, but I think this is a really important discussion. So thank you so much, Thalma. And again, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thaumatrope, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Of course, recognizing everyone's name so far that's been in here. Great supporters throughout 2021 and through the live streams. Like I said, it's almost our 1-year anniversary of our live streams. We've almost been doing it for the entirety of 2021. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. So if you can, all right, let's just go over it real quick. First, increasing sleep, 7 to 9 hours every night, okay? We want to make sure, even if it's 7, all right? Small increments. The next one, water intake, making sure that we're getting enough water. That's how we're going to be healthier. Those two are so important to so many bodily processes on a day-to-day basis. And just reducing chronic disease. That's why I have them at the top of the list. The next one is going to be journaling your meals. Mindful eating, guys. Very, very important. And combined with that, all right, meal prepping and meal planning. Plan what you're going to have, because that's even more mindful. All right, even knowing even more what you're going to be having on a day-to-day basis. it can be tough. I know some individuals, all right, it's tough to get into the habit of meal prepping. I do it try to do it every Sunday. It's tough. It's tough if you're trying to eat healthy to cook every single day, all right, or making sure that you're coming up with things every single day. But if you get into the habit of slowly prepping, meal planning, it becomes easier and easier. Trust me, guys. It's the same thing with journaling. At first, it can be, I'll be honest, some people might find it a little bit annoying, all right, to have to write down. But if you do it for even a week, I'm telling you, it becomes much easier. All right, much, much easier. And then sometimes you even know if you're meal planning and meal prepping, you already know what you're going to eat. You can just write it almost down during the morning. So it becomes a lot easier. Oh, you're very, very welcome, Dalma. Thank you so much again. So I think that's a big one, guys. Journaling your meals, I think that's an excellent tool because, again, not only for if you're trying to lose weight, all right, that again, I'm not too concerned with aesthetics. Of course, we want to have some weight loss if we're dealing with obesity, but we also want to make sure we're getting in the right micronutrients and the right macronutrients. Two very important things. All right, that's going to increase our overall health as well. So try to see if you can journal your meals. Again, meal prepping and meal planning, very, very important. And that's why I put my business email in the chat. If you need help with any of that, that's things I do on a day-to-day basis, guys. All right, even like I worked yesterday. All right, there's not much time that I take off. Again, like I said, it's my first little vacation here in a year and a half. All right, in that time, all right, it's been meal planning, meal prepping, talking about sleep, talking about water, all of these different things. So, I think I can provide some good value for you if you need it and if you want it. I think that's the important thing. We have to want to make the changes. I could have wrote that as a point too. All right, if you don't want to make the change, and I know you guys do because you guys are in a nutrition channel chat right now. So I know that you guys are going to be, sort of the higher end, that 1 to 2% who are making these consistent 1% changes on a day-to-day basis. I know you guys are, you find nutrition interesting and it's important for your overall health. So let's go on to our next point. Sleep, water, journaling, planning your meals, and meal prepping. I think those are the important ones, guys. The next one, maybe one of the most important ones too, one way that we can achieve our health goals, what we need to do for 2022, and I know some people like to say fad diets and things like that. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is you find a diet that works for you. All right, find a diet that you can maintain for the whole entire year. All right. That can be a number of different diets. It doesn't really matter which one it is. A lot of people will hop on keto. That's fine. If you can maintain keto, congratulations, because a lot of people have success with it. A lot of people find it tough, but I think, you give it a try. Right? Of course, you have to try it. We can't just say it doesn't work for us if we didn't really give it a go. But I know keto is really popular, intermittent fasting, all right? I think just eating a well-balanced diet is just fine as well. Again, as long as you're eating healthy, all right? And we've talked a lot about this. What are healthy carbs? What are healthy fats? What's healthy protein sources? Things of that nature. If you're doing that, you can see tremendous goals. But again, the most important thing, all diets can have benefits to it. We need to make sure that we're getting in the right macronutrients, the right micronutrients, all right, and then taking into consideration the hormonal responses that we're getting from foods. Again, what I mean by that is making sure we're not spiking our blood glucose levels, making sure we're not increasing inflammation in the body, making sure that we're reducing the risk of chronic disease. We can do that with a number of different diets, guys. It doesn't have to just be keto or intermittent fasting or the Mediterranean diet, paleo. I can go on and on. Vegetarian, vegan, all of these different diets. That's why I say it can be a little bit overwhelming when it comes to diets and nutrition. I think, again, the most important thing is you find one that works for you. Find one that's healthy and not only works for you, but allows you to achieve your goals. And then that's why I think it's so important that you can maintain it for the whole year. let's say that you're on, and again, I'll just bring up keto because I've seen this through experience. And again, a lot of people might think that I'm not a fan of keto. Absolutely not true. I think it can be beneficial for a lot of people. I've seen it work for a lot of people, and I have clients that are on it. Same with intermittent fasting and all of that. But with keto, you just have to be careful because I've seen this as well. People, maintaining it for a month, but then falling off, wanting carbohydrates. And by wanting carbohydrates, it can just mean, wanting something as simple as an apple or oatmeal or, a banana. Because it can be tough to have those things in your diet if you're trying to have under 50 grams of carbohydrates in your diet. If you have a banana, boom, you just added probably about, anywhere from 25 to 30 carbs. You got to be very, very restrictive because, 50 is the high end for keto. All right, if you really want to be successful with a ketogenic diet. If you want to get into ketosis, 50 is your high level. Usually it's 20 to 50. Very, very low in carbohydrates. So just keep that in mind. I know keto is really, really popular and it has a lot of great benefits, but will it work for you? And is it something that you can maintain for the entire year? That's the big question. Can you maintain your diet for the entire year, guys? Big question. If you can, that's the diet that's going to work for you. That's going to give you the best chance of maintaining and achieving your health goals in 2022 and letting 2022 be the healthiest year for you. Deborah, good morning. Thank you so much for coming into chat. I really appreciate it. Great seeing you this early on Christmas Eve. Thank you so much. And as you can see, Deborah, a great member of the channel. Badge is looking good there, Deborah. I have to say thank you for your support. But great to see you, Deborah. Again, all these familiar faces getting in here nice and early on Christmas Eve. All right, even having these live streams on Christmas Eve. I really appreciate everyone coming in, and I appreciate all of the thumbs up. We're almost at 20 thumbs up. But good morning, Deborah. Happy holidays. I hope you're having a great morning so far. And thank you again for your support, and thank you for coming into the chat. But I think this is a big one, guys, and it goes back to, journaling your meals, meal planning, and meal prepping. All right? Finding a diet that works for you. A lot of the times, I think, this is kind of an interesting topic. If we wanted to grow, let's say I want to, get a bunch of views on a video. It's not going to be tough with putting out keto information out there. There's a ton of people who are on keto and who are looking for keto information. But what I say, and I'll put it out there. We had a whole live stream on the ketogenic diet talking about actually getting into ketosis. A lot of people actually won't allow themselves to get into ketosis because what they do, all right, is, carb cycle. But if you're carb cycling every 2 to 3 days, very, very tough for you to get into ketosis just because it takes a couple days for you to actually get into it. Merry Christmas Eve to you, Deborah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thelma, I tried keto intermittent fasting 3 years ago. Yep, right about when it started getting popular. I did not need to lose weight. I just tried it to get more energy as I was very stressed. Result, gallstones. Yep, that can be one of the, you're absolutely right. That's one of the things that can be a little bit more common with keto and things like that. Intermittent fasting. So, of course, and again, Thelma, you're just kind of, backing me up here, so I appreciate it. Not every diet is going to work for everyone. With Thelma, it probably, if you're dealing with that, if that's your result, all right, then you're probably not going to want to stick to that diet. All right, who wants to deal with gallstones? Sticking to a certain diet when you can just change it up, all right, and get rid of that sort of adverse effect, all right, things that aren't going to make you very happy. Of course, you're not going to stick to that diet. So again, that's not going to help you with achieving your goals for 2022. Again, do I think keto can be helpful? Of course. Do I think intermittent fasting can be helpful? Of course. I have clients literally in the last 2 weeks who we've made a plan and a program to get on those two diets. But for them, the major thing that they have to take into consideration, can you maintain and are you going to be happy on that diet? That's the most important things, guys. So find a diet that works for you. One that works for me, and I've tried almost every single diet, maybe not vegan. I've tried eating vegan for a couple of days, just was not for me. Vegetarian, same thing, just was not working for me. Not that it wouldn't work for you, or not that it's a bad diet. Again, not everything's going to work for everyone. But a well-balanced diet with good carbohydrates, healthy carbs, complex carbohydrates, having healthy fats in the diet, having good protein sources, I think it's very nice. If you can do that and you're happy with that and you can maintain it for the year, that's going to help you have the best year, healthiest year that you can. So not only journal your meals, plan your meals, but find a diet that works for you. And by working for you, I mean something that's going to make you happy, something that gives you energy and it's going to allow you to achieve your goals. Well, that's great, Thalma. Thank you very much. I appreciate that kind comment. And yes, let's keep it that way. Let's stay healthy. Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, one of the big points, and Thalma again backing me up, think health first. All right, think health first, because a lot of people will get on keto. It's really good for weight loss. We've seen numerous studies where it can have benefits for weight loss, of course. All right, it's really good for individuals, I think, with metabolic syndrome or dealing with metabolic syndrome and things like that. People who need to regulate blood glucose levels, of course, great for that. All right. But it's not for everyone, and not every diet's for everyone. I'm not just talking about keto, all right? Mediterranean might not be for you. Paleo might not be for you. So just find a diet that works for you and something that's going to keep you happy and allow you to reach your goals. Think health first, not aesthetics. Remember, the aesthetics are the outcome. We have to focus on the processes first. If we're focusing on the processes, then we can achieve the outcome. So find that diet that works for you, that's going to make you happy and make you healthy. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, guys. So number 1, sleep. 2, water. If you're just getting in here, we have increasing your sleep. Get at least that 7 to 9 hours a day. So important. And we're talking about the reasons why. Increasing our water. All right. Making sure we're drinking enough water. Making sure we're not chronically dehydrated. Journaling and meal planning, I think very important tools there, all right, for increasing our overall health, all right, especially if you can do that for the whole year. If you can do that for 2022, man, you're putting your best foot forward. You're doing something that a lot of people aren't going to be doing this year. Trust me, the percentage of people who actually journal their meals or have mindful eating is very, very low. The next one is find a diet that works for you. As you guys have been mentioning in chat as well, not every diet is going to work for everyone, all right? Or not certain diets like keto or intermittent fasting or even Mediterranean or vegan, whatever it is. All right, find the diet that works for you, allows you to meet your goals, that's going to allow you to be happy and to be healthy. Remember, diets are important because we need to get in a certain amount of micronutrients as well. Think health first, not aesthetics, guys. Yes, it's important if we're losing weight, if we're dealing with obesity, all right? You'll always see it, all right? And I see it tons of times if you're on a certain diet. All right, I lost this weight, I lost, this amount of inches and everything. That's awesome. But are you getting in the right micronutrients? Are you staying away from certain fats? Saturated fat, trans fats, things like that, things that are going to create inflammation throughout the body, things that aren't healthy for us, that aren't giving us much of a benefit or really any benefit. Let's say you're getting mostly saturated fat and trans fat, but you're not focusing on omega-3s, you're polyunsaturated, so omega-6s, things of that nature, monounsaturated fats. All right, if we aren't thinking about those things, all right, we're not doing the best job that we can to increase our overall health this year. Lemon juice is definitely potent, Thalma, absolutely. Great detox, things of that nature. All right, a lot of benefits from lemon juice. And again, whenever it comes to lemon juice, I always say one of the things you might want to do, squeeze the lemon into the water. That way you're getting some of the pulp into the water, and then that way you're getting the pectin fiber, because there's a lot of benefits to pectin, all right, if we're getting that good fiber intake. So absolutely, Thalma. So very good. All right. So I think if we're doing that, that's excellent. All right. So that's the big, so I have a couple more here, but I just want to say, all right, the big thing for 2022, again, you're going to see a lot of content going up in the next little while here. Again, with my face on it, going over studies and everything like that, going over live streams. But I really want to make sure that 2022, we're trying to make the healthiest year that we can. Now, right now, it's funny because we might be thinking, well, we're right in the middle of the holidays. That's okay. Enjoy your holidays. All right. It comes once a year. I know a lot of my clients are sort of, will stress out a little bit during this time because, of course, they're going to have a little bit of a decrease in the diet, maybe a little bit more sedentary. There's a lot of obligations that we have, maybe with friends and families, with Christmas parties, at capacity now it seems like. But with, being a little bit more social and having social gatherings. But again, take this time. It's the holidays. Try your best. I try to say stick to your diet, and then, you can kind of cut back a little bit, decrease calories a little bit, and then, have your holiday meals and things like that. Just try to keep it in moderation as best you can, but don't stress over it. We don't want to add more stress to our life. We're already living in a time with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. All right, let's not put something else on the table. Let's get through the next week. All right, after that, we're good to go. We can still maintain our weight and still get our micronutrients in during this time as well. Just because it's the holiday season doesn't mean that we can't get in enough iron or zinc or vitamin D. Zinc and vitamin D, two things that I'm really talking about a lot with clients and things that I talked about a lot in that immune system boosting chat. It has almost 1,500 views on that 2.5 hour discussion because it's important that we're getting in certain micronutrients. All right, and you can do that on a diet that works for you even in the holiday season, guys. So let's go to our next point. And again, if you have any comments again in the chat, please ask. All right, when it comes to, increasing our health over the next year, I'm more than happy to answer. You know what? It's kind of a nice feeling. I will say it's a nice feeling having you guys in here. I know that it's kind of funny. On Saturday, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. right now, we've been going for a while. Geez, time is flying by. But on a Christmas Eve, might not seem like the most important time, but I think it's important to get this information out there, especially leading into 2022. Because like I said, if you saw the community post, I think one of the most important things that I want to sort of promote on this channel is trying to increase our overall health. And I'm going to do it with you guys. All right. I'm going to make sure that I stay on top of my game. I want you guys to do the same, making 2022 the best year that we possibly can, especially after the last 2 years, guys. We've just been dealing with so much. I know it's tough out there right now. We see the studies, we see the statistics. Been very tough 2 years. And weight gain has been out there. The mental toll that it's taken on individuals. All right, the stressful eating, the increase in cortisol. All right, all that different stuff. The decrease in sleep. You would think, a lot of people think sleep has increased just because of lockdowns and stuff like that. It's decreased over the last little year, like the last couple of years. So we want to make sure that we're really hitting on these points. Right, and a lot of that are going to be just these simple points that I'm pointing out to make 2022 the best. Thelma, Esther, let's all get healthy in 2022. Delete McDonald's from your friend list. Exactly. Get rid of McDonald's. Get rid of those, apps. All that fast food. You're exactly right. If we can, maybe once in a while, but you're right. A lot of people are kind of having that every day. Uber Eats. There's a big reason why things like that are just exploding in popularity. I don't even know what some of the other ones are, but I hear them all the time that people are using, like Uber Eats, DoorDash. I know is another not important one, but a popular one. Things like that. Those have just exploded. Over the last little while, especially over the last previous year and a half. It's hard to believe we've been dealing with this for almost 2 years. But again, these were things that were happening before. I'll make sure that we point this out as well. These were things that were happening over the last few years before, not even the last few years, decades before. All right, so that's why I really want to try to see if we can make this year the best year that we can. Like Thalma said, let's all see if we can make 2022 the healthiest year. And that's something that I'm going to be bringing up a lot this year. Again, certain services that I'm going to be providing. All right, now that we had the face reveal, and again, the face will be on the channel. Today we're just having a quick little chat here on December 24th, Christmas Eve. We'll be back with the face on there in different videos, not just in the live streams, but offering those services to you guys if you need some help with it. Because, starting is the hardest thing. How do you get on track? What's a good way to start with your fitness? If you're trying to increase your fitness for this year, what's the right way to do that? Because there is certain things that you want to make sure that you're doing. All right, certain movements that you want to make sure that you're doing. Those are all things that I can provide value with, even with diet and things like that. Of course, this channel is based on nutrition. And a lot of my clients actually now know about this channel, so they're getting their nutrition information from that as well, which is kind of cool. I think that's very fun. Yeah, it's early morning here in Tampa. Tampa, Florida. I'm totally enjoying my me time here with you before the beginning of Christmas. I know, right? Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying it, Thalma. Thank you. I know it's the same thing here. We're in the same time zone here at Thalma. So I'm very impressed that you guys are up, especially on a Christmas Eve. I know people are busy doing family things right now, preparing, Christmas dinner and all of that stuff and the rest. So thank you so much for everyone who's been in here. 24 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. So let's go on to our next thing. Here's the big thing. We can kind of tie in these next 2 points. All right, what I want you to try to do, and the big thing is, I think the most important, when people ask me, how did I get clients to lose 80 pounds? Or I didn't get them to do it. I helped them do it, and they did it. All right, so that's the first point that I'll make. They're the ones that put in the hard work. I was just sort of the guide. All right, but how did they do it? Well, I think the biggest thing was consistency. Consistency is going to be the most important thing. So if you want to achieve your health goals in 2022, we have to be consistent throughout the entire year. If we're not consistent, then it's going to be very, very tough for us to achieve those goals. All right. And, the best way to be consistent, it doesn't mean go out there and make big lifestyle changes this week or next week, whenever you want to do it. I think the most important thing, guys, I know it's the holidays. I know we have our Christmas and holiday meals coming up, but trying not to push it to next week. Trying not to push it, in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to make these changes. You can still make these little changes even though we're right in the middle of the holidays. In fact, I think it's a good sort of challenge almost to ourselves to try to make some of these changes. We could increase sleep right now. We can increase water. We can start journaling our meals, all right, and thinking about diet that works for us, all right, and then even being consistent with those things. So I think consistency is sort of the right word to achieving our goals in 2022. If we're not consistent, then again, it's going to be very, very tough for us to achieve, all right, our healthiest year this year. Because we might be, a lot of people, and you see it all the time, all right, consistency is the one thing that's holding people back. The one thing that's helpful with me, all right, it gives individuals a little bit more accountability. It helps with the consistency, with improving the diet a little bit, being a little bit more active. You can go 2 to 3 months, and then, if we're only doing 2 to 3, let's say we do 2 months, we're only doing half of the year, all right? That's not the consistency that we want, guys. We want to go all year. Now, how do we give ourselves the best year to be consistent all year? We take the points that were made previously: getting good sleep, good water, journaling your meals, so making sure that your diet, all right, is on point. making sure that you find a diet that works for you and that you're happy with. Again, that's why that's so important, because it's going to allow you to be consistent throughout the entire year. All right, if you're on a diet like intermittent fasting, but you don't enjoy it and you can only maintain it for 2 months and then you just go back to our old habits, again, we just lost our consistency. Going to be very tough to make this year the best year we can. So find that diet that works for you, but we need to be consistent. And again, I'm not trying to be preachy, but consistency is the tool, all right, that that's going to give us the best chance. Have to be consistent. That's how people, every single time when I work with individuals who make the best changes, it's because they have the consistency. Like I said, the individual who lost 80 pounds, they missed maybe one workout, all right, this whole entire year, which is amazing if you think about it, because they were coming 2 or 3 times now a week. But being consistent with your diet, with exercise, if that's part of it, doesn't have to be, just getting that 150 minutes of movement, all right, and being consistent with that. Now, the other important thing with consistency, guys, I've mentioned this a little bit already, but I just want to make sure that we point out little changes, little improvements every single day. Again, I always use the analogy, you don't have to hit the home run. Don't start out by making huge, life-changing goals, all right, or having these goals today or tomorrow. We can incrementally add these steps throughout the year. Like I said before, if you're drinking 2 glasses of water a day, so let's say you're only having, just under a liter of water a day, don't try to jump up to 3 liters or 4 liters. Do it incrementally, guys. Right? It's the little changes that are going to allow you to be consistent, because if you're changing from a diet where you're having nighttime snacking, let's say you're doing it every single night, all right, that's not uncommon. Every single night, usually sometimes we'll have some chips or some chocolate or whatever it is, maybe some fast food. Maybe it's not even every night, but maybe it's 5 times a night, might have pizza night, something. That's common. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is what I hear every single consultation that I do. If we're taking that away, and let's say you're doing that just as an example every single night. If you're cutting back one time, so let's say 7 days a week you're having, chips or something like that at nighttime. If you can, for the next week, go to 6, all right, and maybe you hold at 6 for a week, great. You just made a huge change. You probably just cut out probably about 500, maybe even a little bit more calories out that week. All right, and you took away a bunch of trans fats and a bunch of inflammation causing food. All right, so you're decreasing your risk of chronic disease already just by making that little tiny change. All right, going from 7 days a week having a bowl of chips to 6, and then the next week you go to 5. All right, and then maybe a week or 2 later, you not only go to 4, but you keep increasing your water and you keep getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Those changes are going to compound over time. That's when you're really going to start to see the benefits coming, guys. If you can do that, keep it consistent. Because if you go from 7 days a week and try to go to 0, your chance of being consistent and keeping at that 0 is going to be next to impossible. Let's just be honest. Haven't seen it very often in the 8+ years, 10+ years that I've been doing this. It's too big of a change. It's too much at one time. We have to make the habits we change the habits incrementally. All right, the power of that, all right, is amazing. It doesn't matter what you eat between Christmas and New Year's. What matters is what you eat between New Year's. Yes, exactly right, Thalma. You're 100% right. Like I tell people, all right, that's a great point. All right, people who want to lose 50 pounds because they put on 50 pounds over the course of, let's just say, 3 years. Well, they didn't put that 50 pounds on in the course of 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks. It was a compounding effect that happened over a number of different years. All right, a number of years. All right, we didn't just do it all at once. So that's why I tell people, don't stress over the holidays. Yes, you might put on a pound, but all right, it might be water weight, it might be 2 pounds, whatever it is. But you can get back on track, lose that within a week, all right, and again, lose even more because Again, it might just be water weight. You might not even be in too much of a calorie surplus, because remember, to gain weight, to gain 1 pound, you have to be in a surplus of 3,500 calories. If you're getting a little bit of exercise during this time and burning some calories, you're doing yourself a big service and doing yourself a big favor, because you're avoiding that 3,500 calories that are going to allow you to put on a pound. So you're exactly right, Thelma. People who gain weight and people who go from, overweight to extremely obese or to obese, again, that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen over a month. All right, it happens usually over the course of a number of months or years. So exactly right. Great point. Ask Human. Okay, great. I believe you're new to chat. Thank you so much. Avoid meat for taste. Okay. It's funny. It's very interesting. Like when it comes to meat and certain things like that. If you're following a keto diet, huge on meat, all right, you'll find actually, people saying don't go for lean cuts of meat, all right? And again, we respect this, because the whole point of keto diet, all right, is to not increase blood glucose levels, and we have to respect the insulin response that certain foods can give us. Well, what they're finding, all right, and what you'll hear a lot for people who are really big on a keto diet, is the leaner the protein source, the more of an insulin spike that you're going to get. So they probably wouldn't even like things like low-fat fish. They probably wouldn't like things like a protein supplement, like whey protein supplements, because that's going to be digested super fast, and it's going to increase blood glucose a little bit, give you a little bit of that insulin response. So with me, it's funny. It depends diet to diet. That's why nutrition can be so complex sometimes, and that's why I really try to help people with it. And help people with certain programs, because sometimes the information you get out there, it changes from one person to the next, all right? And it can be from one doctor to the next, to be honest with you, one nutritionist or dietitian. So it's very interesting. Some people will say go for the leanest protein source, like chicken, turkey, tuna, tilapia, certain fish choices. They would say go with the salmon. They would go with normal red meat, not extra lean ground beef or anything like that, because that extra lean is going to increase your insulin, increase blood glucose a little bit. You're going to get a bigger insulin response. Well, that can be quite stressful a little bit. Don't forget with the red meat, and again, it changes from person to person. Well, if you're having that red meat that has the extra fat, you're getting more saturated fat in your diet. So don't make it too complex. Try to, just stick to something that works for you and something that's healthy. Sweet Cakes, good to see you in chat. Thank you so much for joining so early on Christmas Eve. I'm very impressed with everyone who's getting in here. It was so funny when I was doing this, setting up the stream, I kind of thought, well, it's one of those times where I know each person's going to have family obligations, different obligations getting pulled in different directions. And here we are with everyone, a lot of people in chat, a lot of familiar faces. Like I've said before, tons of familiar faces in here. And look at all these thumbs up, people just pouring into the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Sweet Cakes, good morning. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you so much, Sweet Cakes. I appreciate it. Good morning to you. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Thelma. Sure, I'll get on to some of these questions here. How about drinking alcohol? I drink champagne, G&T at New Year's Eve, and I always feel sick January 1st. Yep, very common, January 1st. Almost National Hangover Day. I do not understand why some people can enjoy wine, etc. on a daily basis. That's a great question. Teach their own, absolutely. What I say with my clients, I've had certain clients who would try to do like the glass of wine. A lot of my clients will have wine. It'll be sort of their cheat meal. Okay? Now, it's fine, all right, if it's part of your cheat meal. You just have to make sure with alcohol, no nutritional value whatsoever, and it's going to actually lead. We already mentioned this. All right, if we're trying to increase our heart health, if we're trying to increase digestive health, mental health, decrease inflammation, because alcohol is just gonna, wreak havoc on inflammation. It's a inflammation causing food. All right, it's not going to help with digestion. All right, and it's definitely not going to help with good bacteria in the gut. We can say that even with one glass. I mean, there were studies, and one of the studies that was one of the biggest implications in overall health over the last number of years was the study that came out with, a glass of red wine every night was healthy for you. The only issue with that is it kind of gave some individuals this idea that, okay, well, I can have alcohol every day and I'm going to make myself healthier. Again, to each their own. All right. Again, I always promote, if you are going to have alcohol, try to have it in moderation as best you can. All right, but we already know if we're adding in alcohol every day to our diet, one thing, all right, the study was very little. All right, it was super low levels of red wine. So people would always be overdoing it, but people would take that, all right, and then use it as sort of a basis for every alcohol must be good. Well, if you're having, let's say beer, which wasn't involved in the study or anything like that. Some studies said one drink, all right? So I guess you could include beer, but beer is not going to have a very good effect on your overall health. Let's say you're having even just 1 or 2 beers a day. Again, the reason why I say that it's not going to have a great effect on your health, I know it can be enjoyable, and I know it's the holiday season, all right? And I know people want to have some fun, and it can be relaxing having a glass, but we just have to keep into consideration no nutritional value, empty calories, what I like to call. It's empty calories, all right, so it can be having a detrimental effect on not only weight loss and things like that, because we're getting those empty calories. Remember, protein and carbohydrates per gram 4 calories, per gram in fat 9 calories. Alcohol has 7 calories, all right, so there's calories in alcohol. The other thing is it has absolutely no nutrients, and the other thing from there is it's going to affect our health in different ways negatively, all right, because the digestive system, creating inflammation, heart health, of course. Just make sure we're keeping it in moderation, all right, in moderation. I think that's the best thing that I can say. Try to stay away from it as best you can. I know that's, not always the case for most people. They like enjoying it. But just make sure it's in moderation. But yeah, I think that study on alcohol had a tremendous effect on, how people are kind of perceiving alcohol and things like that. And with wine and stuff like that. And trust me, just with dealing with my clients, it's usually not a glass of wine. It might start with a glass of wine, but it does not end with a glass of wine. So we'll keep that in mind as well. Now, I just want to point out, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys all being in here. We had Deborah in here who is a member. Thank you so much, Deborah. I appreciate that. For anyone who's getting value, I put my business email in chat. You might have to scroll up just a little bit for it. If you don't have it, let me know. I can provide it for you. I can put it back into chat. Maybe I'll do that right now, just real quickly. Give me just 1 second here. It does not take me long. We'll put it back in. Again, one of my big passions, I think, for this year is just making sure that we're taking the right steps in our overall health. All right, so limiting salt, limiting sugar, and then limiting alcohol, I think, are the 2 biggest, or 3 biggest, I should say, things that we can sort of do for our overall health as well. Sugar and salt, especially, but you always see alcohol thrown in there as well. Again, empty calories. All right, so there's the business email. Again, if you need help, let me know. All right, we're providing services on the channel. Also, as Deborah has done. Oh, good morning, Thelma. Sorry, I'm behind a little bit. I was just getting that email. Very informative indeed. Thank you for your reply, dear. Oh, my pleasure, Thelma. No problem at all. Thank you for asking. Angela, great to see you. So many faces, recognizable faces in here. Angela, thank you so much for joining. Good morning, everyone. Season's greetings. Yes, season's greetings to you as well, Angela. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for coming in on Christmas Eve. That's why I say you guys are sort of in that, 5 to 2% of individuals who are really focused on their nutrition. If you're in here on a Christmas Eve morning, in a nutrition chat talking about goals to be healthier in 2022, then you're in that upper echelon of a percentage to increase your overall health. So Angela, no worries. Don't worry about being late. We still have lots to discuss, and remember, these will always go up on the channel, so you can always catch up. We've been going an hour and a half. Unbelievable. But again, we'll just point out a lot of information is going to be coming in over the next week. I'm off. It's my first vacation in like a year and a half. So I want to dedicate a little bit more time to the channel. Again, to support the channel like you guys are right now, being in chat, engaging in chat. I love it. All the thumbs up that you guys have been very supportive of the chat. We have 27 in here on a Christmas Eve morning. I'm telling you guys, unbelievable support. Thank you so much for everyone who's come in. Again, the other ways, if you can, all right, to support the channel, again, just because of our services are coming out now that we're doing face reveals and everything like that. Services are going to be provided. That's all going to be coming out into the new year. Ebooks, which I'm working on a daily basis, researching out. That's going to be coming out very, very soon. All right, coming from a different perspective. Again, through experience and through science. All right, I think you got to combine the two. All right, saying science, it's almost like Simon Says. All right, I've seen some funny things. Simon says, science says, so follow the science. Again, we got to take experience. We got to take, what some of the studies say, but studies are always changing. So experience is really helpful in these cases, but just coming from a different perspective at different health, health goals, health related issues. That's why this list is my list. It's literally written down on a piece of paper. I didn't take this from anything. All right. But these ways to achieve your health goals in 2022, my perspective, things that I've seen from over the last 10 years, helping people through consultations, working with people every single day. The other way, again, as Deborah has done, if Mary's in here, thank you, Mary. Why? People joining as a member of the channel. So hitting that join button, becoming a member, and becoming a Fit Team member of the channel. All right. And by clicking that join button, again, you're going to be getting perks through that. I mentioned the ebooks, different services. So if you're able to hit that join button, greatly appreciated. There's Deborah right there, right on cue. Thank you, Deborah. So Deborah, a member of the channel, has her badge there in green, supporting the channel. If you're finding value, that's always greatly appreciated. And then the super chat function, of course, always greatly appreciated. And Deborah, of course, going to get her perks as a member of the channel. And again, no Patreon or anything like that. Those are the two ways to give back to the channel, because I do want to get these ebooks out. I do want to get more videos out with my face on it, going through certain things and helping this year to be the healthiest year. Literally, when I say that, not only for you guys, but for myself as well. All right. This is a team effort. All right. A team effort. And that's what I kind of want to make it. That's why I have the Fit Team, all right, as a member. All right, it's going to be a team effort, having 2022 be the healthiest year. So hitting that join button, becoming a member, and any super chat if you can give, all right, always greatly appreciated. All right, sometimes it's hard for me to point that out, but I will just point that out just because there's certain perks for certain members and through the super chat function. So thank you very much. And with all the thumbs up and the engagement and you guys just being here is greatly appreciated as well, guys. So thank you so much. All right, so thank you again. Oh, you need to put a voice with my face. Angela, if you watched the last live stream, the face would have been on today, but I had to jump on really quickly So I didn't have time to set up the. It's funny. Someone was asking Sonia, another member of the channel, was asking last stream. What took so long for the face reveal, or was I nervous about the face reveal? I actually wasn't nervous about the face reveal at all. I actually had enjoyed having my face on there. It's something that I want to do every single time that I stream, and even on every video, pretty much. And put my face up on, almost on the like as a thumbnail. So I wasn't nervous. I wasn't delaying it or anything. The thing that was delaying it was the technological side, making sure that the camera worked, making sure that the microphone worked, because I went through a dry run the night before and my microphone wouldn't work when I was setting up, and it was the wrong camera. So what was happening was the camera wasn't showing up, the microphone got switched to my webcam microphone. And then, it took me a little while. That was the one thing that was sort of holding me back. The reason why the face isn't on today, I had to jump on super quick. There was a little bit of a technical issue, so I thought just better to get on, because I jumped on yesterday morning, I'll be honest, and there was a technical issue, and I had to actually stop 5 minutes into the live stream, just because there was a little bit of an issue with the camera, and then I couldn't get it kind of centered how I want it. Boring stuff for you guys. So I thought just better just to get on here, get this message out here on Christmas Eve. That way you have it. And so that's the only reason why the face isn't on right now. The face was totally going to be on there. It was yesterday during the stream, but there was just a little technical issue, which will be cleaned up for our next stream, which could be tomorrow, could be Sunday. I'm not sure when it will be. I want to, like I said, I want to get on here as much as possible. But if you do want to see the face reveal, be able to put a face to the voice, if you watch the last live stream, the face is on there for 2 hours, 2 hours plus. So then you won't miss it there, Angela. All right, so I think we've hit some good points. Again, we want to keep it simple. The important thing is keeping it simple. All right. On the stream, but we're strong and healthy. Absolutely, Thelma. Absolutely. All right. We certainly are. On a Christmas Eve, couldn't ask for anything better, and especially in the morning. Very, very impressed. So I think those are the most, some of these are some of the most important things, and the things that I wanted to bring up today, and I have a couple more, don't worry. Sleep, water intake, journaling your meals, meal planning, all right? Meal planning and meal prepping, I think very, very important. Also, finding a diet that works for you, and consistency. Deborah needs to run finish Christmas prep. Yep, looking forward to the next live. All right, absolutely, Deborah. Enjoy your Christmas. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in here as a member in here. And Deborah, enjoy your Christmas Eve. Thank you so much. Like I said, I know people are very busy this morning, dealing with all their Christmas prep, family stuff. I know there's a lot of obligations going on, and I really appreciate you coming in here, Deborah. So have a great, healthy day. Enjoy your holiday, and we'll see you next live stream. And just like I appreciate everyone else being in here. Deborah, have a great day. Thank you very much, Thelma. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. So the next one, so consistency is big, guys. Consistency is huge, and it's going to be huge for the whole year. If we want to have the healthiest year, we have to be consistent through the entire year. We can't just go 2 months and then sort of fall off a little bit. We have to go through that whole year if we can. So that's why I think these tips are going to be very, very important. All right, sleep, water, things that we can do, things that aren't going to necessarily, be super, super restrictive or super tough. All right, it can be tough at first, but it can be habit building, things that we can build very, very quickly. Like journaling, once you get a week or two under your belt, in a month, it's going to be like second nature to you. Before you even eat, I know individuals are writing it down. With myself, same thing. It's like writing down your workouts. The more and more you do it, all right, the easier it is. Consistency, guys. Go for those 1% changes a day. Don't try to go for the home run where we're making these changes, everything all at once. I wouldn't recommend all of these points doing everything today or tomorrow. Choose one or two, maybe even one, and then go from there. Build off that, because if you're doing that, that's going to help with consistency, and we need to be consistent the whole entire year if we can. The next thing that I want to point out here, guys, so consistency, of course, very, very important. I can't stress that enough. All right, improve every day, improve every week and month. If we're doing that, that's how we have the healthiest year. The next thing that I want to say is enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of getting healthy. Enjoy the process of becoming healthier. It's very rewarding. All right, it's super rewarding, guys. We know that if we're eating a healthier diet, getting our micronutrients in, getting good amounts of sleep, getting good amounts of water, all right, you enjoy the process. All right, the process of getting healthier is very, very powerful. And remember, the reason why it's so rewarding is because the process leads to the outcome. All right, so let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. Well, we don't just constantly think about, okay, I need to lose this amount. I need to do this to lose 50 pounds. All you have to concentrate on is just doing the little things each and every day. That's your process. All right, learn to enjoy that, and then the outcome will take care of itself. That's the beautiful thing. Like I told you guys with a couple clients, we've had clients that have lost 80 pounds this year, clients that have lost 60, 50 pounds. All right, a lot of good gains with that. But I don't only want to stress the weight loss, getting healthier. All right, getting their 3 to 6 servings of vegetables a day. All right, getting good water intake. Focusing on sleep, that's all a part of it. That's the process. The outcome was the 80-pound loss, 50-pound loss, 60-pound loss. All right, we can get people to lose weight. All right, I can make a program for someone. I could do that in an hour if I know their basal metabolic rate. All right, and I know the frequency that they want to work out, and then we do sort of a consultation. I put them through a few movement screenings. I can make a program for you. All right, and tell you how, put macros in there that you should be hitting each and every day. You can lose weight. All right, I'm not going to say easy, because you have to work hard. You have to hit the macros and actually do the workouts. All right, keeping the consistency. That's why I said consistency is the important thing. But I can make those programs for people. All right. The hard part is you have to learn to enjoy it, all right, and enjoy getting healthier, because it's not just the weight loss. It's if you're dealing with some fatty liver, all right, if we were having, almost the early stages of fatty liver disease, all right, we had some fat deposits in the liver, reducing that, all right, getting rid of that, all right, reversing that. If we were very lethargic, our energy level was a 2. I always ask what our energy levels are during consultation. If your energy level is a 2 and then we're bringing that up to an 8, that's a huge win. All right, that's great health. All right, movement is health as well, guys. So, yes, the outcome sounds nice, and it's great for me to say, oh, well, I've had clients that have lost 80 pounds, but the important thing for me, and the thing that I feel really good about, is that they're now healthier individuals. All right, and it's not only because of the weight loss. They're healthier because of the weight loss, obviously, but they've also learned valuable tips, valuable things that they can take for the rest of their life that are going to allow them to remain healthy. All right. Eating a healthy diet, getting the micronutrients in. We talk a little bit about, like yesterday, for instance, talking to clients about a proper multivitamin. Right? Those are things that we talk about when we have to talk about. It's not just about going in, all right, and having a really intense 1-hour workout. There's all these other things that are a part of the process to being healthy. And that's why you haven't heard me say one time yet, all right, anything to do with exercise. There will be one little thing at the end, because I think it's important for having our health, hitting our health goals and being our healthiest self. But if you've noticed, nothing that I've said had to do with working out. It's these little things. Sleep, not little things, big things, all right, but other parts of the process, all right, I'd say little things as part of the big overall picture of the process that are going to allow you to have the outcome. All right. Sleep, water, journaling your meals, creating a diet and having a diet that works for you. Consistency that you can do all year. 1% changes and improving every single day. Enjoying the process. If you don't enjoy the process, all right, you will never get the outcome. All right, never get the outcome. Just imagine if you're not enjoying your workout, if you're not enjoying your diet, all right, if you're not, enjoying certain foods that you're eating, the outcome is not going to be, you're not going to have very much success. At least your chance of success is going to be going down. How do you know if you have fatty liver even when you are not obese? Well, there's some certain symptoms. I'd always speak with your medical practitioner, because what you need to get tested, all right, liver enzymes and things like that, you need blood work, all right? So that's a great question, Thelma. All right, so, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So a lot of the times it's going to be individuals that are overweight, all right? So usually if you're overweight and things like that, and that's why this one certain individual was kind of running into problems with fatty liver, all right? They're, just to be honest, it was obese. How do you know? Again, speak with your medical practitioner, but I will say that there are symptoms. All right, one, all right, you'll have some pain or discomfort in the upper right abdomen. That's how this one individual had pain and discomfort. And then they kept telling me that they were doing this and doing this. I'm not someone that's going to diagnose. All right, I would never diagnose fatty liver disease. All right, it's just not my training. I'm not as part of my, what I do for a living. All right, that's just not something that falls into the category of what I do, and I would never diagnose. All right, so what I always do is I recommend go get tested. Talk to your doctor about it, of course. All right, if they're having certain issues, there's things where I will outsource. So they tell me a little bit about the symptoms. It's important to know the symptoms of certain things like this. All right, but of course, if you're dealing with that, speak to your doctor, because they can do blood work and things like that, especially if it's persistent. All right, it's a constant thing. It's not going away, or it's just even a concern for you, because stress can cause certain things in the body. All right, so if you're stressing out about it, all right, it might be making your symptoms worse. All right, and that's what was happening sort of in this case. All right, but fatigue is a big one. Pain or discomfort. I believe it's in it's the right side. I believe the upper right side of the abdomen. All right. Those are kind of your two biggest ones. All right. Other signs might be sort of like jaundice, so like yellowish skin, yellowish eyes, things of that nature. Swelling again can be a big one. All right, in the abdomen. For most individuals that I work with, it's very uncommon. I will say that. A lot of people will think, because they'll watch a video on fatty liver disease and then, start stressing out about that and then thinking that they have all the symptoms about it. But of course, they're telling me these symptoms. I'm not going to diagnose, but the thing is, we know the symptoms here. The first thing I always say, go and get tested by your doctor. But how do you know if you have fatty liver disease? One, get tested, Thelma. All right, because just because you have some of those symptoms does not mean that you have fatty liver disease. All right, even if you're not overweight and obese, a lot of times it's people who are obese, to be honest with you. But those are sort of the most common signs and symptoms, and if they're persistent. So I hope that helps answer your question a little bit. I try to do at least 150 minutes of walk a week. That's awesome, Angela. Or reach for 10,000 steps. Good for you. All right, so that's exactly what's recommended. 150 minutes, all right, of walking, of any movement. All right, again, when I say 150 minutes of like working out or things like that, I like to say movement, all right, because walks are great. Going out for a walk, going for a hike, just being out in nature, being outside, getting some fresh air. We've been cooped up, all right, over the last couple of years as well. So it's great to go out and get that walk in. Again, if you want help with resistance training, again, send me that business email. I make resistance training programs for people using 5 bands, all right, that cost $30 on Amazon. It's not like you need a gym membership or get dumbbells or things like that. It's literally using resistance bands, and I can make programs for people and have literally hundreds of exercises for people, because a little bit of resistance training is nice as well. Right after 35, once we're over 35 years old, we lose about 1%. It depends a little bit on your genetics. It depends a little bit on, what your lifestyle is like, what you're eating, but about 1% of muscle mass throughout the body every year. So a little bit of resistance training is good as well. But Angela, that's amazing. 150 minutes of cardiovascular. All right, that's exactly what's recommended, and what I always will recommend, getting that 150 minutes of walking a week, 10,000 steps, tremendous. It's interesting because, the 150 minutes went up, but the recommended steps went down. So what I always like to say is trying to get a little bit of that 150 minutes. See if you can make it a little bit of a ratio between aerobic and anaerobic. All right, so a little bit of cardiovascular, a little bit of resistance training if you can. And you only have to do the resistance training for 30 minutes. Like, let's say 2 to 3 times a week, and you're already doing a great job. All right, and again, it can be with bands. All right, I work with individuals that are in their 70s. All right, I've worked with individuals that were in their 80s. All right, and they're making consistent gains doing resistance training. Again, you have to have someone who knows how to program, because I also have individuals who have been in their late teens, their early 20s. You need to know you're not going to give them the same workout, obviously. It all comes down to goals and the movement screening. Great. Need resistance training. Okay, that's awesome, Angela, because one of the big things that I want to do, all right, is provide some sort of resistance training type information out there. Just because, like I said, I think it's important. Like, after 35, we start to lose about 1% of muscle mass each year. Even if you're younger, all right, I think it's really, really important, all right, because you kind of want to build a nice foundation, all right, especially with like core and things like that. That's the foundation to the body. So nutrition and fitness and all of that stuff all go hand in hand. I'm not in plan, just worried. Okay, that's great. Oh, my pleasure, Thalma. No problem. Yep. And you know what? It's a concern. There's so many videos out there. I'll have in my recommended dealing with, fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and things of that nature. I've made videos, I believe, on it. I might do a live chat on it, just because it is with obesity going up and up, individuals overweight, obese, or extreme obesity. We know in just the United States, and it's like this all over the world. Canada here is very similar. It's about 68% of individuals who fall in that category. So, of course, fatty liver disease, the risk of developing that is going to go up just a little bit, or go up quite a bit. I don't know what the exact statistics are, but we know that it's going up. That's what I know for sure. But yeah, Angela, resistance training, absolutely. Like I said, I make programs every single day for individuals, and that's one of the services I want to provide on this channel, because I do think it's a great benefit for individuals. And going back to our point of this whole discussion, how to achieve your health goals in 2022, all right, getting a little bit of resistance training will not hurt. It will only help. And thank you so much for the 30 thumbs up, guys. I just saw that we're at 30 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Man, on Christmas Eve morning, hitting thumbs up on our chat. Thank you so much. I guess rain can make more bad than good. Absolutely, Thalma. We see it all the time. Individuals, stressing out about certain things, like right abdominal pain, and then constantly touching and probing, all right, seeing if there's swelling. Of course, that's going to increase the pain, all right, and then the anxiety and the worry comes in more and more, and then that's when they really start to stress out. And that's why it's always best to go see the doctor. Go see your medical practitioner, because they can actually run studies on you to see if you actually have it, and then you can just get rid of the anxiety and the stress that has to do with it. Once you have those tests done, and let's say you know you don't have it, you no longer have to worry about it. You no longer have to stress about it, because that stress not only, all right, can affect, all right, how we're feeling about fatty liver disease, it can have other negative effects on the body as well. Michi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Michibu, thank you so much for joining us. You're new to the chat. Well, thank you so much. It's great to have you here. You just got in here. Okay, perfect. Oh, checking in from Australia. You letting me know where you're listening from. That's awesome. The great down under. Australia is one place on my to-do list, literally, to go and visit. I would love to visit Australia. I just love Australia. I love the ocean. I think it would be amazing. So welcome, Michi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. But yes, always go and get tested, guys, for anything that you think, any negative or health complications or anything like that. Go and get the studies done, because, then you can get that peace of mind. The stress and anxiety, one, can make those symptoms worse, or the perceived symptoms worse, all right? Because you might not have it. But if you do, of course, even better, you want to go and get tested. All right. And then if you don't have it, of course, it's going to be great, because it's going to be a nice stress relief, anxiety relief for you. Reduce cortisol, our stress hormone. All right. Things of all that nature. It all comes back full circle. Now, one of the last things I want to point out here, guys. All right, and thank you so much for the thumbs up. We saw our nice members in here. Thank you, everyone who hit that join button. There's a couple people in here, if you're listening, thank you, because I know that you are a member here, and I've been getting the notifications. Thank you so much for joining. If you are listening, or if you're listening later, thank you for joining as a member. I really appreciate it. I always like giving shout outs to you guys. So true. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Michi. I appreciate it. It's great. Like I said, great to have you in here. Now, the other thing for making 2022 the best year that we can, all right, we know, to kind of sum it up, increase sleep, all right, increase water intake, journal your meals, meal prep and meal plan, all right, mindful eating, super important. If you're doing that, boom, you're in the top 5% of individuals, because not a lot of people do that, but it's such a powerful tool for increasing our overall health. The other thing we need to do is find a diet that works for us. If we don't have a diet that we're happy with, all right, and we can maintain throughout the entire year, it's going to be next to impossible for us to achieve our goals for 2022. Doesn't matter if it's weight loss. It can be weight loss, but it can also be increasing our overall health, decreasing inflammation, increasing heart health, increasing digestion, increasing good gut flora, can go on and on. So find the diet that works for you, that you're going to be happy with, and that you can be healthy with and reach your goals. All right. The other thing is, guys, consistency. We need to be consistent throughout the entire year, all of 2022. 1% changes every single day. All right. And try to improve every day. Those are such little changes you might not even know. All right. Don't go for the home run, because if you go for the home run, that consistency becomes very, very tough. Yes, water's absolutely, Michi. Very, very important. That's why it was one of the main things on the list, right up there with sleep. Two of the important things. If you're thinking of a pyramid, water's at the very bottom. It's one of the most important things that we can add to our diets. If not the most important, to be honest. If you're chronically dehydrated, we need to increase our water. The other thing with consistency, all right, enjoy the process. Remember, it's the process. So keeping consistent. Journaling your diet, all right, having a diet that works for you, that's nice and healthy, that's allowing you to reach your goals, all right, enjoy the process, because the outcomes are going to take care of themselves. If you're like Angela was getting her 150 minutes of movement in, was getting the 10,000 steps, all right, it doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight or not, you're getting health benefits, heart health benefits, mood benefits, circulation benefits, digestive benefits from getting that movement in. So I think that's part of your process as well. All right. And again, those outcomes take care of themselves just by getting them in. The other thing I want you guys to think about, because we hear so much about weight loss, so many people are tied to the scale. All right. It affects their mood so much. They're weighing in every single day. That's one of the things I try to get my clients to do, is not weigh in every single day, because you can have fluctuations on a day-to-day basis. You got to give yourself time to see some of that weight loss. Try not to weigh in every day. Do like 2 times a week, and then do it like say it's Friday's your weigh-in day. Do like a Thursday and then Friday, just to kind of take the average, and then you can take care of some of that fluctuation. It'd be nice, wouldn't it, Thama? I'd love to be in Australia right now. Trust me, out of the cold here in Canada. I know it's a little bit warmer there in Australia. I think it's summer there, if I'm not mistaken. Angela, thank you so much for becoming a member, a Fit for Life team member. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the team. So nice to have you part of the team. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member of the channel. I really appreciate it, Angela. Yes, I saw that. I see that. That's the nice thing, and that's why when I do the face reveal, I always have the chat. I know people can see it, but I always like having the chat on the screen as well, because it gives that nice green flashes up there. Welcome to that welcome message. Welcome to Fit for Life team. Again, Angela, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining the team. Thank you so much for being a great member of this community, strong community, as Thelma put it. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you hitting the join button and now getting your perks from becoming a member here. So thank you very much, Angela. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. So I hope, like I said, I hope you guys are getting good value. The time just flies by for me. Like 2-hour streams are becoming they're the new norm for me. I feel like I could almost do this all day. My job consists of talking about nutrition and diet and fitness and everything like that. I'm doing this almost every day. I feel like I could just do these chats on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. And Angela, again, big shout out to you. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel, and welcome to the Fit for Life team. Thank you so much. Big shout out to you, Angela, and big shout out to everyone else who is listening. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy these chats so much. Waking up at 7 a.m. on a Christmas Eve, and then having you guys in here, everyone in here, all right, the special community that we have here, it's a strong community. If you're doing that and you're waking up Christmas Eve morning, 7 a.m., and you're getting into a nutrition channel to talk about your health goals for the upcoming year. I mean, if you're doing that, congratulations to all of you guys. Tremendous. Big congratulations to all of you for doing that. And like I said, I love this so much. It's very easy for me to get up and do this and to talk for 2 hours. Sometimes I feel like I can ramble on a little bit. Hopefully not too much for you guys. But there's just so much information. And like I said, these are sort of my perspectives, and that's why I like kind of getting on here and talking about them. You can see so much information out there from different channels, and a lot of the times, you'll find the same types of videos out there. But I like these types of sort of chats because it's sort of my own perspective and sort of my own ideas on how we can achieve the health goals. I think the most important thing is you're taking it step by step. Start simple. The simplest things can make the biggest changes, guys, honestly. If you increase your sleep, increase your water, start journaling your meals, stay consistent, and find a diet that works for you, I'm telling you, you can make 2022 the healthiest year of your life. All right. If you're doing that, and then, you're adding a little bit of that movement, 150 minutes per week with a little bit of resistance and aerobic. All right. So aerobic and anaerobic, some cardio, some resistance training. I think you're going to do a great job this year. Enjoy the process. That's the biggest thing. Now, lastly, I will say this. All right, and this is my last point, but I have a couple things to say. All right, again, think about health first. Again, it's a nutrition channel. All right, my life almost revolves around fitness, though, and nutrition. They both go hand in hand for me. Hello from Italy. All right, well, thank you, Francesca. Welcome from Italy, another place that I would love to visit. Buongiorno. Buongiorno from Italy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know where you're listening from. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you're having a great day, having a great Christmas Eve. But thank you so much, Francesca. I appreciate you coming in. And welcome. I'm not sure if this is your first time in the channel, but if it is, thank you so much for joining us. Lastly, I will say, guys, make sure this year we think about health first, not aesthetics. Yes, aesthetics are important, but aesthetics, I just mean how we look, all right, the scale, all right, what everyone's always tied to, all right, that's your outcome. Think health first. Think getting good sleep. Think getting, enough water. Think about getting your nice micronutrients, macronutrients. There's so many micronutrient deficiencies right now. I shouldn't say so many, but we have to be well aware, all right, that there can be a deficiency in things like vitamin D right now, especially if you're in the winter months, cold months right now, where there's not a lot of sunlight and the days are shorter and it's colder and we're not outside. All right, vitamin D3, vitamin K2, all right, is very, very important. Getting enough iron, all right, iron, zinc, all right, vitamin D3, vitamins, this mineral zinc, getting that in is going to help boost immunity, make you healthier. All right, if you're trying to work out like Angela's been doing, our newest member of the Fit for Life team, all right, as she's doing, if we have a weaker immune system, all right, and our energy's low, all right, it's going to be very tough to maintain that 150 minutes per week and getting the 10,000 steps. All right, we just see that so much in consultations and everything like that. So we need to make sure that we're getting our micronutrients in and hitting the right macronutrients. So we need to make sure we have enough carbohydrates, good healthy fats, all right, and good protein into our diet, all right. And if you're following keto, of course, that's going to change a little bit because you take the carbohydrates out, but making sure our macros are good with fats and with protein. All right, so it all comes down to that. Make sure that you're thinking about health first, not always just thinking about aesthetics, because aesthetics are going to turn people off more so usually than turn on. The one thing about aesthetics too, yes, you'll get a nice temporary boost in motivation, but it's very, very hard to. It's like if it was a graph, you'd see your motivation shoot up. All right, so if motivation was on the side and time was on the bottom, you'd see it shoot up right at the very beginning, but as time goes on, that bar would just slowly start to go down just a little bit. But if you're thinking about your overall health and lifelong health, reducing the risk of chronic disease, improving your overall health, all right, that line, all right, is going to stay fairly consistent. Good motivation, it might not be as big as a shoot up, but you'll still go up and then it'll stay nice and balanced. That's what I see on a day-to-day basis. People who are thinking about improving their overall health. All right, individuals who I've been working with who are 70 and 80 who want to be able to play with their grandchildren, be able to get up and down off the floor. That's a huge motivation, all right, for them. All right, those are some of the most motivated people that I've worked with, being able to get up and down off the floor because they want to be able to play with their grandchildren. How beautiful is that? Amazing. Nothing wrong with thinking about aesthetics, but aesthetics will come once we start thinking about health. Paulette, Merry Christmas to you, Orlando, Florida. Awesome to have you again from Orlando. Thank you so much for joining us again, Paulette. Really appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you. Again, very much appreciate having you part of the channel. And same with Francesca. Thank you again for joining us from Italy. So just to keep that in mind, guys, the aesthetics will come. Think health first. Add in these things, and then we can help achieve the healthiest year, because that's the big thing that we want to make sure that we're doing for 2022. And like I said, it's going to be a team effort. That's why I made the Fit for Life team. I'm going to be doing it with you guys. We're going to be a team. We can help each other. Right, we can kind of lean on each other, because I think a support system is very, very important. I see it all the time. The people with the strongest support systems are the people who make the most, or at least can keep the consistency, all right, and have the most success. So I think we do this together, guys. We can have the best year possible in 2022. Let's make it happen. We'll add on to some of these points. I think if we're adding on to some of these points as we go on and on, you guys continue to ask your questions. Again, I put my business email in there. All right. Some of the things, some of the information that's going to be going out, some of the ebooks, other information, of course, is going to be going out. It's going to be a big year, not only for the channel, but, for our overall health. But I want to get a lot of information out there. All right. Even start getting, people are asking me about becoming clients. That's all going to be getting figured out as we enter into the new year. I would love to work with you guys. Now that the face reveal has been completed, you guys know who you're working with. That's what, again, people were asking about, why haven't you been offering services earlier? Well, I did not want to do that until I did the face reveal, so you knew who you were working with. All right, it was just very, very important to me. All right, I did not just want to be a faceless person offering services, all right, or offering programs or things of that nature. All right, I wanted my face out there so you guys knew exactly who you're working with. So things like that are all going to be coming into the new year. Again, I get questions coming into the business, into my email, sorry. Those are all things that are going to be coming into the new year. Again, I want to really push for this year to be the healthiest year, because I know it's been a tough couple of years for a lot of individuals. You guys are the top 5%, I would say. If you're in here, again, big congratulations to you guys. Very, very impressed. Nice and early on Christmas Eve. Tremendous support. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Angela, our newest member of the Fit for Life team. Big shout out to everyone else in here as well. All right. I wish I could scroll up further, but I know we had Michi, Thalma in here pretty much the whole entire time. Francesca, Paulette. We had Rupo, who was in here at the very beginning. Of course, I'm going to remember that. Sweet Cakes, I know. Deborah was in here. Morgan, Susan, Kathleen, all the names that I'm going to remember on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all of the support, guys. Thank you so much. Again, we're going to be doing more live streams this week. We'll have a couple interesting topics that I think you guys are going to like, again, leading into 2022, but also some health discussions on certain topics, again, that I think are very, very important, just for making sure that we're at our optimal health and our bodies are working optimally and functioning properly, just like all the videos, just like all our live chats. But again, I have to give a big shout out to all you guys for joining the chat, engaging in the chat. Makes it so much easier. Again, we went 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like I said, 2 hours, 2 times a week. We're doing almost about 5 hours of streams every single week. So, that's why I love doing this. It's my passion. Like I said, it's almost becoming second nature that these go for over 2 hours. Just tremendous. So thank you to everyone who's joining as a Fit for Life team member. Like I said, this year will be a team effort in becoming our healthiest selves, and let's just enjoy the process as it comes. So thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Again, Angela, thank you. Everyone else, thank you, who I mentioned. Thalma, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words again. And we'll talk to you. I'll put a reminder up, because, again, for sure Sunday. Tomorrow probably not the best day. It's Christmas Day, so there probably won't be a stream. There might be a video that goes up, but probably not a stream tomorrow. But maybe perhaps Sunday, I think, would be a good day, our normal day. And I'll put reminders up just so you guys know the time, just so you guys know the topic, and then we can come in here and have a great chat again. All right, so thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all the support. So impressed with the amount of people who were able to come in today. I really appreciate it. Big shout out to Deborah. Big shout out to Angela. Of course, big shout out to those Team Fit members. I really appreciate everyone in here. Let's make 2022 the best year that we can, the healthiest year we can, and we'll just keep going there as a team. All right, we want that support system, and that's what we'll get here. So thank you very much again. I know I've thanked you guys enough. Enjoy your Christmas Eve. Enjoy your Christmas, because I'll probably talk to you next Sunday. So everyone have a great holiday. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will talk to you live. Kathleen, thank you so much for joining. As always, I appreciate it. Kathleen, familiar face as always. So appreciate you, Kathleen. Sorry if I forgot you there. But thank you, Kathleen. Of course, always appreciate having you in chat as well. But everyone, have a great rest of your day. Have a safe and happy holiday. And I will talk to you next live on Sunday. So thank you.